Welcome back to the world's premier team 10-pin competition. It is the Weber Cup. 3 down and 3 points up for Team Europe. Look at that, all blue on that leaderboard so far. It's a must-win game coming up next for the Americans. And if there's one man who can turn it around, it is the legend that is Parker Bohn III, the American team captain. He's up twice in the next team game. Can he get some red on that board up against Martin Larsen? Let's find out with your commentators, Cass Edwards and Wayne Boyce.
So time, indeed, for a captain's performance from Parker Bohn III. There's an awful lot of blue on that board, as Tony was saying. 3-0 to Europe after the opening 3 games. 4 to go in this session.
Too many formats.
53-year-old really does need to try and get one over on Martin Lucky Larsen. And remember, Larsen did beat Bohn 265, 216 in the 2015 Weber Cup, but Cass Edwards, Bohn really does need to turn that result on its head here and get a foothold in this tournament for the United States.
Parker Bohn has got to get in the Bohn zone.
And there it is.
Shoots 10 straight away, and I say 10, but it's actually 30 under the world bowling system. 30 pins for a strike. Great looking shot. Freshly dressed lane. Hard and fast up the left hand side. Great break in the back end. Carries the 1-2 pocket nicely.
Show of no emotion whatsoever from Parker Bohn. It may be early in the day. Indeed, the first day of the 3-day Party Poker Weber Cup. 1 or 2 signs it's getting away from the USA again. Larsen just came in a tad too early.
Yeah, played the centre of the lane where the really heavy oil is. Didn't quite get the reaction he's looking for. Straight through the face of the number 1 pin. Can't break the 3 and the 6 up. So the most he can make is a spare here, which will be an 8 spare worth 18 pins.
He does take that spare. We were talking, Cass, about the advantage of the left-hander on the oil. It really doesn't come into play in this game because it's been freshly oiled.
Well, that can be a bonus, yeah, for this 53-year-old. The I hate to say it, the granddaddy of the tournament. But
he won't thank you for that.
No, I'm sure he won't. But look, he's got 105 300 games, so he's a lot better player than perhaps we think.
Can I call you the granddaddy of the commentary box?
Absolutely, yeah.
Here comes Parker Bohn. Working on a strike, first time up, and again just checks, reassesses the situation.
Yeah, maybe just a sweaty hand or something, just blowing into that thumb hole, so it's nice and dry.
Winner of 35 PBA titles, 5th on the all-time list. Only the likes of Walter Ray Jr., Earl Anthony, Norm Duke and Pete Weber have more PBA titles than this man. And he is bringing that experience to the fore here at Event City in Manchester with a 2nd strike in a row.
It's a great looking shot. Keeps the ball well down the lane, but then it breaks after 40 feet. This oil pattern tapers out to 40 feet. 4 units in the middle of the oil. Only 1 on the outside, meaning 4 times more oil in the centre of the lane than there is on the outside.
Martin Larsen, the Swede, remember. 4 appearances and 4 wins in Weber Cup history, but he's left another spare.
Yeah, very much playing down between 2nd and 3rd arrow. Change of ball for the spare. Be a much harder ball, he'll go straighter at it. Single pin at 4 pin and takes it away. So it's worth 19 pins.
Well, he remains clean, Larsen, but it's 2 spares. And a significant lead already for Parker Bohn.
Yes, even under this scoring system, the difference between strikes and spares is very notable. Parker looking for his 3rd strike in a row. 3 major wins on the PBA Tour, including the 2015 PBA Players Championship, and he also has the PBA World Championship under his belt, so he really has won all there is to win.
Just leaves up the 7 pin this time. This is second Weber Cup, his first as captain. And when you talk about the inexperience in the USA team, he's vastly experienced, but you bear in mind there's just 3 Weber Cup appearances between them. This is his second. Les Malott appearing for the 3rd time, and 2 rookies.
Yeah, absolutely. They quite a contrast to the European side that are thick as thieves. They play together, they eat together, they socialise together, they travel together, and they play tournaments together. Larsen working on a spare. Looking for a strike, absolutely, he's got to get in there. And does so. The first strike for Larsen, it's worth 30 pins.
He was absolutely on fire in the Baker. This is the first of 2 meetings this session between Martin Larsen and Parker Bohn III, so whoever comes out on top in this one, looking for the psychological advantage for in a couple of games' time. Stu Williams takes on Marshall Kent, and then these 2 are up again before the captain's pick, when the captain picks who's playing for the opposition. And Bohn continues to lead by example with his 3rd strike in 4 frames.
He's very much locked and loaded on that 1-2 pocket for the left-hander. His only non-strike was a single pin, 7 pin left in the corner, but he looks nice and relaxed. I think Martin actually changed his bowling ball last frame, which ripped the rack, and I think he's staying with it now.
Yeah, this one very much matches the European shirt.
Oh, lucky Larsen, how about that? Had the 2-10 split standing up for a fraction of a second there. Managed to get some damage done on that 2-pin. Watch this one, it's really wide, it's really light on the head pin. There's the 2 and the 10, but the 2's gone, leaves the 10-pin standing in the corner. Should be a straightforward spare worth 19 pins.
Well, he's clean through 4 frames, but just the 1 strike in there, Cass, compared to the 3 for Bohn III, hence the 109.86 lead for the American captain.
Yeah, because every time Martin gets a 9 spare, it's worth 19, and every time Parker gets a strike, it's worth 30. So there's 11 pins difference in every frame that happens. 266, 289 are the maximum strikeout scores.
This will certainly be a big one to win, bearing in mind the rookie Marshall Kent is up next against Stu Williams. It's a great shot again from Bohn. Strike number 4, 2 in a row.
Yeah. Great looking shot in the 5th frame for Parker Bohn. Rips the 1-2 pocket, carries all 10, sets up that chain reaction that he's looking for in the pin deck. 1 time is what he's saying, and yeah, how about that? Great bit of body language.
Larsen needs to stick in there, and he needs to start striking more regularly. Oh! Well, dare I say it, lucky again for Larsen.
You took the words right out of his mouth. Lucky Larsen. Very fortunate in the last frame to break a split up, and even, well, just as lucky in that last frame to get the strike and carry 30 pins.
Not too difficult to see where his nickname has come from.
Yeah, but I've not known him be that lucky, that regular.
I think we're into double figures now for how many times we've said lucky, and he's only playing his 5th frame.
Well, at the moment he's not lucky because he's trailing the USA captain Parker Bohn.
Could have been trailing by much more though. That's a great shot from Bohn, who is not giving an inch here against Martin Larsen.
As it stands at the moment, it's looking like Team USA's first point from their captain. He's the player captain's in it. It really is a great shot. Nice bit of width down the lane, right in the 1-2 pocket. Flash high shot.
Inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame as long ago as 2000. Parker Bohn III.
Yeah, I'm afraid Parker's credentials go way, way back. Almost to the time of Fred Flintstone, but not quite that far.
In the days when you were bowling.
Absolutely, he was one of my partners. Martin Larsen looking for 10. Wobbles the 10.
Oh, not so lucky.
Can't carry it. An absolute wobbler there, right in the 10-pin spot.
Yeah, certainly getting away here. Parker Bohn III.
It can only be a spare if he carries it, which he does.
I think he'd be frustrated with how he's bowled here, Larsen, given his 2 bowls in the baker. Help Europe to that 243 score.
Yeah, but as I say, this is a freshly dressed lane. It's got new lane conditioner on it, and Parker Bohn seems to be taking full advantage. Whereas Martin, although he's in and around the pocket, is not carrying very much. And that is the difference.
And with them playing, sorry Cass, with them playing twice here, if Larsen loses this, it really puts the pressure on the second meet, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
One more.
Great shot from Bohn. And he is flying. We wanted a captain's performance for the United States, and he's certainly doing that.
Yep. Repetition looks really good, doesn't it? He seems to be really loaded on that pocket and is now carrying everything. He's getting very animated and enjoying himself. Larsen looking to do some damage. Another ball change. Again, another 10-pin in the corner. Not this game, Martin, unfortunately.
Yeah, we suggested he had a touch of fortune in 1 or 2 of the earlier frames, but fortune is evening itself out now for the Swede. Oh, who misses the spare.
Oh dear. That, I would suggest, is going to be the end of that game. Open frame, worth just 9. Yeah, change of ball there. He's obviously a bit frustrated. What he may be thinking is, the game's finished. Let me change another ball and get lined up for my next game, whenever it is.
Parker Bohn then looking for 5 in a row. Oh, leaves up the 7-pin. But it's been a solid performance from the USA captain. And he looks set to avenge the 265-216 loss last year to the Swede. No mistake from Parker Bohn on the spare. You don't often see that, what we saw from Larsen. Real lapse in concentration. He's clearly not happy, as you say, Cass, changing the ball over.
Yeah, pretty frustrated on missing that spare. He's now concentrate on perhaps using this ball just to get himself lined up for when his next match will be.
And that's a strike, lovely shot.
It's a strike worth 30. It may be just a bit too late, I'm afraid.
Takes him to 174. As you say, it's worth using the remainder of this game just to get his eye in for when he meets Parker Bohn III again.
Yeah, that will be in 2 games' time, and there may well be a change in the lane condition then, but we'll have to wait and see as Parker rings a 7-pin rocket in the corner. Shares a joke with Big Wes.
Well, there's that team spirit that everybody's talking about. You know Europe have it.
Well, it's good that the Americans are actually smiling at last. Makes a big change. They're going to put a point on the board.
Haven't had too much to shout about in recent times in the Weber Cup. They have avoided going 4-0 down here. Good work from Parker Bohn III. And now Martin Larsen with his penultimate frame. Again, it came in heavy through the head pin and leaves a horrible split.
Well, I think that was an experimental shot. It's a split. He's left the 3, 6, 7 and the 10. Breaks nothing up. I mean, this is a makeable spare if he wants to, but the game is over. Gave it a shot, and that's another open frame, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2 open frames for Martin Larsen.
It's 55 pins is the difference. It's going to be a big win, and now the crowd's joining in because Parker Bone, they know, has won in some sort of style as well.
Another great shot from Parker Bone III.
It's a big 267 game, and he is very, very happy. So Martin's telling him that he can't bowl another ball in the 10th because it's the World Bowling Scoring System and he only gets one shot in the 10th.
Another practice shot here for Martin Larsen. And he takes all 10. Much to the joy of the crowd here. But Parker Bone III has a point on the board for the United States. Coming up after the break, Stu Williams takes on Marshall Kent in more action from Weber Cup 2016.